Hi guys, this is AC Gamer back with another video on Tower of Fantasy. Now in today's video what I'm going to be doing is taking a look at the revenue for Tower of Fantasy. So recently I haven't been taking a look at the revenue because I wasn't really too interested in how much they were making. I was just playing the game. However, yesterday I decided to take a look at the revenue, and honestly I was a little bit shocked with what I had discovered. So I will be using two different websites to hopefully show you guys the revenue for Tower of Fantasy. So I will be using Sentry Towers as well as App Magic. So taking a look at the revenue, I think a lot of people are going to be surprised, especially if you take a look at what you expected Tower Fantasy to be earning, especially when they released the game. They got over like 34 million, and now they are earning a measly 2 mil or a little bit over 2 mil in the global region. I don't know about CN, but global region is roughly over 2 mil, close to 3 mil. Now obviously a lot of people can say that a lot of people are purchasing through the mid buy or whatever it's called. However, I don't think that is the case, just because recently the banners we've been getting, I don't think they were actually hype banners. Maybe Alice was hype actually, but at the same time it didn't really give them a lot of revenue. So the revenue, taking a look at Sentry Tower first, so 2 million for Android and 800k for iOS, which okay, I feel like Tower Fantasy has definitely peaked already, and right now it's just a steady decline, or going to be able to maintain 1 mil over. So as long as they're able to maintain 1 mil every single month, I feel like Tower Fantasy will be good. Obviously comparing it with the amount of money they have earned before, that isn't good enough. However, 1 mil, 2 mil, that is good enough for Tower Fantasy, and they just have to keep using that money to invest in new characters, and obviously the CN version as well is also going to be adding money into the game as well. Not really too sure how much the CN version is given, but I'm pretty sure they're going to be spending over like 5 mil as well there in the CN region. So moving over to App Magic, where we can take a look at it, it's also estimated to be between $2 million as well. And in App Magic, we can actually take a look at the region that's spending in the game. So Japan right now is 48%, United States 23%. I'm actually quite surprised with United States, honestly. And then we have 5% from Germany, 3% from France, 2% from Singapore, sorry, 2% for Thailand, and then several other regions. Now, is this a big surprise? I think so. I thought honestly, when Tower Fantasy came out, I thought honestly they will be able to earn over 10 mil every single month moving forward. But obviously based on what we can see, that is not looking to be true. Now there's obviously several factors in why many people are not spending, several factors in why they're losing players, but I think the main reason why they're not able to maintain the money is because newer players don't really want to play the game, and older players, they want to play the game, and they're trying to, or the game are trying to maintain the older players from sticking to the game, spending as well. But obviously as more time you play the game, you're more than likely you get bored of the game and then you drop out. So the fact that they're not able to regain the amount of players lost, they are not going to be able to keep gaining as much money as possible. Actually, taking a look at the download, so for Android, taking a look at Sentry Tower, the download was 100k. For iOS 200k, but iOS are less likely to spend, as you can see. With Android, I feel like 100k downloads, which is pretty cool. However, the fact that the revenue isn't showing that good probably means that the players that keeps downloading are not able to stick with the game, just because early on, honestly, Tower Fantasy is not good to play. I feel like the majority of people enjoying Tower Fantasy right now are like the people that's played since day one. I'm absolutely loving the game. I love the combat in Tower Fantasy, and I'm able to continuously enjoy the game, even though there's several issues. I could talk about my server being absolutely laggy as hell, Antilles or something like that, which is the popular server in the EU server, for the Europe server. For English speakers, it's still abysmal to play, and I think they've fixed it. I don't know if they've fixed it. I haven't really done any world boss recently. I have been spending a lot less time in Tower Fantasy, and I've absolutely quit spending money in the game. Like, I am done. I am absolutely done spending money in the game. So I feel like there's a majority of players who are like me, who enjoy Tower Fantasy, but don't see it as a game that they should spend money in, just because packs not that good as well. Obviously when they do like New Year pack, the packs were pretty decent, but like with the several issues that they've done or have had before previously just keeps affecting people's mind, and when people look at the game, they're just less likely to spend overall. So I personally will not be spending moving forward in Tower Fantasy, and I've actually started playing Genshin Impact a lot more than Tower Fantasy. I already said I will be making a video talking about the time I've been spending playing Genshin Impact has been increasing, whereas with Tower Fantasy has been slowly decreasing. It doesn't mean Tower Fantasy is worse than Genshin Impact or I'm enjoying Tower Fantasy less. It just means that I have a lot more stuff to do in Genshin Impact and I'm enjoying it, and I feel like the game is just more sustainable. Obviously, spending in a game like Genshin Impact is a big no-no, honestly, as well. Just like a Tower Fantasy, both games are a big no-no. But some Genshin Impacts are able to gain new players every single time. There are continuous ads running for Genshin Impact every single day. Genshin Impact ads has not stopped at all. Whereas with Tower Fantasy, rarely any ads for it. I've seen ads in TikTok, but that's like a month ago when I was looking at TikTok. I haven't looked at TikTok recently, but yeah, when I was playing TikTok, I did see an ad for Tower Fantasy. In YouTube, I see 0 ads for Tower Fantasy. But yeah, because they're not able to release ads in the global region, whereas in Japanese region, I do expect them to keep running ads there, just because JP region are more likely to spend in the game compared to the global audience. But I still feel like less ads in the global region, or like the Europe region, sorry, are making it less likely for newer players to come in. And even if newer player comes in, the experience they have is not good enough, not gonna lie. So they need to make sure newer players experience is amazing. So the gear requirements, or making sure that they're able to enter servers that's vibrant. So I feel like merging servers will probably be the way to go. But looking at how I keep butchering the name of the server, but looking at how the server is right now, and it's just one server with a lot of people in it, and the game barely handles it. I don't feel like they can merge servers right now, because the game will not be able to handle it as well. So that is just not good at all. And recently, with the banners we've been getting, obviously they're increasing the pacing of banners, 2 banners running at the same time. It's not really a big issue for me. I just don't spend anyway. So if I'm not planning, well, usually actually when I was playing Tower Fantasy, I would always love to get the characters, even if it meant spending. But with how the game is right now, I just feel like, nah, I don't care. If I can't pull for the character, I don't care about spending. I'm not spending at all for the game. So Tower Fantasy, yeah, they're losing people and they're losing players as well, slowly but surely. Eventually more players will leave out. They just need to find a way to get new players in. The revenue, I just hope remains above 1 million, because the moment it drops down below 1 mil, I will be absolutely worried for the game. Because like, obviously if it goes to like 700k, it might be good, but the game has high maintenance. It's a high maintenance game. You have to pay for servers, you have to make sure that the servers are optimized, new updates coming out as well. Obviously they can rely on the CN server as well, but once that drops to 1 mil, I am going to be deeply worried about spending in this game, even if I was a paying customer as well. Right now I have an account that I've spent quite a bit of money in, so I'm just willing to stick with that. I'll just try and pull for characters I like and enjoy the gameplay. Not really worried about trying to stay in meta or stay in doing good damage. But yeah, so far Tower Fantasy, I'm still enjoying the game. I love the combat system, but I just don't like the way some of the stuff are handled. Gachapon still being horrible, or some of the events we have. Actually, the events are pretty good. I actually like the events. The characters look pretty cool as well. I feel like that's the only reason why I'm playing. I don't really care about exploration anymore, just because I have less time now than when it came out. I had time to explore, now I can't do that. But anyways, the revenue for Tower Fantasy, those are it. Tell me down in the comment section what you guys think about Tower Fantasy right now. Obviously some people are going to be like, Tower Fantasy is dying. If you take a look at how much it was like previous videos ago, it was about like 9 mil, now it's 2 mil or close to 3 mil. It's just going to keep going down and down. Hopefully they're able to maintain 1 mil. Anyways, that's all I wanted to talk about. It's been your boy Ace the Gamer, and I'm out.